Oh, back, good. Wait. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's cold out this morning, 24 degrees. That means everything is frozen, even the eggs. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey there, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris, and if you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. And like I said, it's cold out today. Everything's frozen. I'm getting ready to collect the eggs right now, and I guarantee they're frozen if I have any eggs. We've had kind of a strong cold front come on, so these guys have slowed down laying for a couple of days. And there's one back there. Let me grab it. All right, well, only got one egg today. The birds have pretty much shut down laying for a little while. The cold front that came through it was a little harsh, and it kind of shocked them a little bit. So they'll pick back up laying. The cold doesn't keep them from laying necessarily, but it can temporarily stop them from laying when it first hits. It's just a stress factor for them. So any kind of stress factor makes them stop laying. But I've got 14 hours a day of light on these guys. They'll start laying again pretty quick. One thing I will say, this egg is frozen. I mean, it's 24 degrees out here, but it didn't crack, which is kind of rare. I mean, if you can see the egg, it looks pretty good. Most of the time when your eggs freeze, they crack. So what do you do about frozen eggs? Let me start off by saying I haven't found a way to keep them from freezing. The only options I can think of would be, if you were to run power and some kind of heat source out here, but in my opinion, that's kind of a waste of money. Powering the heat source for the birds, they don't need it. As long as they have this wind block, they can get in out of the wind. They do just fine in the cold. It's not hurting the birds at all. So there's no reason for me to run heat out here just to keep the eggs from freezing. The only other option would be to collect them as soon as they're laid or really quick after they're laid, which is very difficult because the birds lay at different times during the day. Most of my birds tend to lay in the evening, late evening. If I don't catch them before I go to bed, and it doesn't take very long in 24-degree weather or below for the eggs to freeze, so you'd have to be really quick to get to them, to keep them from freezing. So with that being said, no way to stop the eggs from freezing. What do you do with the frozen eggs? It's really nothing to worry about. Frozen eggs are just fine. You can thaw them out. You can use them just like you would any other egg. They may not make the best like fried egg with a soft, over easy, that kind of thing. You may want to scramble them up at that point, use them in an omelet or scrambled or in baking or any of those kinds of things, but they work just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. You don't need to throw them out or anything like that. The one thing I will say is, like I said, this egg looks pretty good. It didn't crack. Most of the time your eggs are going to crack when they freeze, and if they did crack when they freeze, that means it's opened up to the environment. The egg shell itself has a bloom on it that protects the egg from bacteria, from the outside bacteria. Now, if it's cracked, it's opened up to that outside bacteria, and it's going to go bad pretty quick. So your best bet on those is to wash them really good and stick them in the freezer and keep them frozen until you're ready to use them. Don't stick them in your fridge and just let them thaw out and sit in the fridge or sit on the counter or something like that. They're opened up to the environment, and they're going to get that bacteria inside them. They're going to go bad very, very, very quickly. So again, keep them in the freezer, wash them first, get the bacteria off of them, wash them, throw them in the freezer, keep them in the freezer until you're ready to use them, then pull them out, thaw them out, use them however you would like to. Frozen eggs are no big deal. Don't stress about it. Anyway, short video to address this topic, but I've had a couple of questions about it recently, so I thought I'd get it addressed. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.